Rosanna Berardi joins us to provide some insight into the controversial policy. She's an immigration lawyer and managing partner at Berardi Immigration Law. Thanks so much for your time, Rosanna. Now, we got a little bit of an overview there in our reporting about what this means for thousands of migrants at the border of the US right now and beyond. In your personal experience in dealing with migrants and in their petitions, what do you think it means for them in terms of their individual rights?
It's such a complicated issue, and we've seen this political ping pong, if you will, go back and forth for, several times this month, where there are just thousands and thousands of people waiting to enter the United States to pursue their asylum claims, but are unable to. It looked like they were going to be able to last week, and that was chilled. Today, another decision came down saying, no, we're still going to enforce Title 42. So it's depriving all of those that are waiting an opportunity to apply for political asylum. And there are hundreds of thousands of people just waiting at the US border for this to change. Now, today's decision was critical because the US Supreme Court said, we're not going to take this up substantively until we hear oral arguments in February of 2023, which isn't terribly far away, but they won't ultimately make their decision until June of 2023. So we're looking at another 6 months in which people are just in this holding pattern and unable to enter the United States.
So what does that mean on a daily basis for those who are waiting in cities like El Paso? From what I understand, there's a humanitarian crisis on the ground there, people sleeping on the streets, shelters overwhelmed. What sort of state or federal assistance may be en route for these people if they have to wait for this next 6-month period?
Yeah, so the individuals that are already in the United States, they have essentially sidestepped Title 42. So Title 42, think of it as a roadblock for entry to the United States. So the individuals here are putting their applications in queue, but the immigration courts and the asylum applications are substantially backlogged due to a myriad of factors, including COVID, a lack of immigration judges. So you've got that set of individuals waiting, and then you've got a whole set of individuals waiting outside of the United States to come in. What does that mean practically? It means that people may run the border. They may not wait to do this lawfully, if you will, by entering the United States lawfully to apply for asylum. They may cross the river. They may come in the trunk of a car. They may sidestep the actual asylum process, which can only exacerbate problems. It's winter in the United States, and okay, the southern border isn't typically freezing, but it's cold right now. It's just going to create a humanitarian crisis.
Now, judges on the Supreme Court who object to the motion say the court is being used as a last resort policymaker. What do you feel would be the best case scenario in terms of immigration policy in the current climate, given everything that's happened in the last year, the pandemic, the economy, everything that's going on?
My question is, where is Congress? Congress is responsible for making the law in the United States. Doesn't belong to the executive branch. The president should not be making policies or law. Doesn't extend to the Supreme Court. It is in the hands of Congress to issue and create a bipartisan piece of immigration legislation to address some of these issues. And when either party attempts to do that, they try and fix all of immigration, which is a huge problem. I think the solution is for Congress to take this step by step, solve a component of the problem, but Congress needs to step in. We've got a Congress that will not touch U.S. immigration law, and they haven't meaningfully changed the law since 1997. This is terrible and makes for bad law and policy and causes people to do things outside of the law because the law is just so antiquated and rigid. So my suggestion, if it were up to me and I had any power, I would love to see Congress, both sides of the aisle, get together once and for all and really have some meaningful immigration legislation passed.